Welcome to Last Ditch Effort. Alright, welcome back everyone to this year's episode of the Last Ditch Effort podcast. I'm here joined by my co-hosts Patrick and Gabriel. How are you guys
This year's
doing?
episode. That was a good job.
New year, new podcast, and new co-host.
Exactly. Welcome, Gabriel, to the Last Ditch Effort family.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, from fan to friend to co-host.
Exactly. You're gonna own this podcast soon. Like you become the CEO of Last Ditch Effort.
Gonna run a tight
ship.
No.
If you're climbing the ladder. Yeah. How is everyone doing?
Good. I played the the Road to Nationals in Lucerne this last weekend together with Gabriel.
How did that go for you?
Fun. I played Verdance. It was pretty fun. I made top 8, but not top 4. So sadly, I didn't get my qualification yet. But I went 4-1 in Swiss, only losing to Dash.io in game 5. So maybe with the new XP system, that's already enough to qualify for Nationals. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah. What did you lose to in top 8?
To Arachne Marionette. Yeah, I mean it was a close game, but I had some bad draws, and I mean the matchup is pretty 50-50, so it can go either way. I think it's like one of the matchups where the new defense the missing the defense reaction really hurts, because before it was super useful to have like an extra earth card that can either block for 3 or for 4 if you needed to. And just losing like the defense. And my build now plays more aggressive than some other players. I know a lot of Verdance players just replaced their root-bound carapaces with Fate for Scenes. But I didn't do that. I just play 3 less D-reacts, and I feel like in that matchup you can really tell that like hurts.
Yeah. Gabriel, how did your RTN season start?
Well, I'm off to a rough start. I played Marlin. I started my game 1 with Friendly Fire and it went downhill from that game on. I couldn't get a single game to stick. I think, I don't know, the matchups were hard, and some minor mistakes cost me every single game. Like I thought I had it on lock, and usually those are mistakes that I could come back from, but no, didn't work out last Sunday. Yeah.
Good practice to not tilt and keep playing.
Yeah, that was
trying
good.
To make the best out of it.
Yeah, my game 2, I started like really with a few brick turns, and I just managed to keep my head down, block, and then wait for my cards to make sense to send them, and almost turn it around. But yeah, I mean, all of them were so tight. If she gets 1 or 2 more cards, Marlin will be really good.
Sounds like one of those group type players. We only need 1 more card.
1 more, baby.
One more
card.
But I mean, it has happened to the Raffianson players. No, they were like, "Oh, we need 1 more card." Now they have this 1 more card. I think the deck is playable right now. Yeah, so I didn't play the RTNs at all. I was on dog sitting duty. Unfortunately, couldn't make it to the RTN. I would have loved to play. But yeah, once again, I think looking at what you guys told me, it's funny how Switzerland meta is just a wild card, right? It's like people just play whatever cards they have the marbles for, it feels like, or I don't know. There are some consistent players, right? For example, Lars, who top 8'd once again with Dash.io. Manu, who came back, who top 8'd on Rhinar, right? Like he's been playing Rhinar since I know him. So it's like no surprise that he does well with the deck. But some people just like, I don't know how they probably choose the decks like I do. Like if I can't decide what deck to play, I write all the decks that I could see myself playing on a piece of paper, throw all the pieces of paper in the air, and then my dog chooses which hero I should play. yeah, maybe that's how other people do it as well.
Yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
Our top 8 was very diverse as well. We had 2 Verdance players, and that was the most of one deck. Everybody else played a different deck. We had one Arachne Marionette, one Kasai, one Dash IO, one Ocelio, one Rhinar, and
RKO.
one RKO.
Yeah, one underhanded cheat. I think it's a cool top 8. It's missing all the Gravy Bonds players. I think there's 1 or 2 Gravies in the.
Yeah, I was surprised by not a lot of Gravy and not a lot of Prism. I feel like usually Prism is more represented in Switzerland as well.
What was it? 2 Prisms? 2 Gravies and 2 Prisms? In 32 players, I think.
Yeah, I don't know the whole breakdown, but there was just not a lot of board state decks.
Yeah, it's classic Switzerland. I think
Yeah.
you cannot prepare for a meta. Like, it's just not possible. Also, if you would have the full meta breakdown, I would bet that like 50% of the people switch heroes for the next RTN.
Yeah.
it's always like this. It's like, okay, didn't go well with.
But I actually think it makes it so much more interesting than if you can just look at like the international meta and be like, oh, this gives me information for what I have to play.
Exactly. Also, like the global meta will not have an effect on the Switzerland meta whatsoever. Right? We've seen week 1, like we have Gravy Bones, I think, winning, like being the winningest deck, basically. And then that does not mean that people A will bring Gravy Bones to the next RTN, or B will prepare for the Gravy matchup for the next RTN, because it's just like not existent. And I always find these things funny. Like, from a brewer's point of view, it's like a blessing because you can cook up new things, but also it's a curse because you brew up something and then the meta is completely different again. So I think Gabriel and myself, we're both in this spot right now where we're like, what the fuck should we play? Like, I'm in this boat ever since new LL, right? And I think Gabriel, after the tough beats of the last tournament, is in a similar position. Like, you've been consistent, Moby, super consistent. But
I mean, I've just like unsure as well after Dash, or after I switched off from Dash. I played Azalea for what felt like 3 weeks because then she LL'd immediately after that. So, and since then I was like floating between decks. So now that Verdance is just super fun still. I'm starting to get to the point where it's maybe a little bit the same every time. I don't know. I'm considering switching, but like it's fun. It's just good to have like a deck in your back pocket that you can always come back to. And now I feel like she plays differently again with like the new bands. So, and I'll be interested. She plays
so boring now. It's like block with 2 cards and an attack.
But like, I don't play her like this at all. Actually, I feel like I play her more aggressive than I ever did. Like I feel
crazy.
Like as I keep my trees around a lot, and yeah, I just try to push Arcane.
My deck that I can always go back to is just also not one that wins. It's Riptide.
Yeah, all your decks are just 1 card away from being relevant.
But yeah, if we look at like the international table, it's also very diverse. It's no hero has more than 20%, and it's Gravy has 13 wins in this RTN week 1, and then after that, that was 17% of the wins, and then after that is Marionette at 10%, Kasai at 10%, Burns at 10%, Dash.io at 8%, Florian at 5%, Arachne, Huntsman at 4%, Fang at 4%, Jarl at 4%, and it goes on and on and on. Which is, just looking at this, is insane. Like, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen any other card game that is this diverse. Like, it's insane. So like you can literally take any hero in the current meta and take them to an RTN win, which is not like nothing. Like, that's at least 7 games or so that you play, and you have to win 5 of those 7 games at least. So yeah, I think it's crazy. And it's not even that, like, you know, there's one class that's like super good and all the decks are just like variants of the same class or something. No, these are completely different decks, completely different strategies, and they're all viable. Like Gravy Bones, super board set deck, Arachne Marionette with disruption or aggressive, like you can build them in 2 different ways. Kasai can be built several different ways. Verdance as like a more defensive option, Dash.io super aggressive, Florian super defensive. And these are all like top decks. So right now it feels like any strategy is viable on almost any hero. It's
I
really
agree.
crazy.
You guys
And
have
now
been,
looking to calling Akihabara, there was even a Betsy in day 2. So
that's crazy. Yeah, but you guys have been playing longer. Has the meta been this wide and viable for so many heroes ever before?
It feels like it's not, right? There was always like a
No.
top 2, top 3 decks, and people played other stuff, but like it's difficult because I think in the early stages we did not have week 1 RTN meta breakdowns, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I think this is something quite recent, but like there used to be a very dominant deck, right? Always like Chain,
I mean,
Ultim,
we don't like if
Prism,
you
Starbow,
remember like
Lexi.
the ice meta, it was called an ice meta for a reason. Like we have seen top 8s where it was like 4 Icelanders, 4 Oldhams, you know what I mean? And I feel like that just hasn't been the case in a very long time. And it's funny because like the bans that they implemented, they were supposed to like shake up the meta. And it feels like the decks play a little different, but like it's still a lot of familiar names at the top. And if anything, it's made the format even more open and even better, in my opinion.
It's super open. I mean, if you look at week 1 RTN results, right? Gravy Bones, the deck with the most wins. And then you look at the calling that just like concluded like 10 hours ago or something. There was not a single Gravy Bones in top 8. Okay, the top 8 was very hostile for Gravy, right? There were Syndras and Dash.io and Australia and things like this. But like it's a complete opposite, right? And it shows you that depending on the region, depending on like I think the meta has not converged. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Because if Gravy is 50% of the room is Gravy, then I'll bring Syndra. I don't care if it got nerfed, like because you're still very.
So I have like a bit of a weird question here, but do you guys think there even is a meta? Like
no,
it
I don't think
so open that
it's just vibes.
I think there's like if you are trying to pick a deck based on like what is the best thing in this current meta right now, I don't think you can make a objective choice. Like there's
Probably
nothing that is objectively the best.
Best pick is probably what you're best at playing, right? It's just
Yeah.
where
But
you're
it has
the most
always
skilled at.
been like this.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. It has always been like this.
It's super cool.
I mean, there's decks that you could give to a new player, and like Aurora back then, I think you could have some sort of success without having the deepest knowledge.
No, that's true. I'm looking at Talishar win rates right now because we don't have many paper tournament data on Fablazing for the last week or 14 days, and like Florian is the deck with the highest win rate. But they're all very close. Like it's 56 Florian, 55 Victor, 54 Marionette. Then we have 54 on Syndra. Then we have Valda, Kasai, Verdance, Huntsman, Fang. Like they're all in the same range. Like even Puffin is up there. Okay, it's Talishar. But yeah, it's crazy close. It's crazy close. And I think if you're a specialist, then just play that hero and you'll do well. The problem is I couldn't figure out which hero to play for a long time. So it's like a little bit, if you have too many options, it's also a danger, right? Especially in those white metas. Because if you jump back and forth and yeah, you misplay. Yeah, it's crazy metas white. But I agree, I would say there is not really a meta. Especially in like small regions like Switzerland, where there is only like, I don't know, do we have 60 to 100 players maybe? And it's just feels like just based on vibes, which
Mhm.
makes testing hard, right? Because if you play 50 games on Gravy against Marionette, and then your field is everything but Marionette, then you wasted a little bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just rewards you for really understanding your deck.
Exactly.
Like more so than any other meta we've ever had. Like, of course, matchup knowledge is always important in Flesh and Blood, regardless.
Yeah.
Like, you always have to understand what your opponent is trying to do. But like, I think more so than ever, it just you have to play your game plan really well, and you have to adjust it based on like other strategies. I mean, yeah, that's always true, but like it also like I can see it with sideboarding decisions. Like, what do you even prepare for in sideboarding? Like, if you need 3 cards per like matchup, you can prepare for 5 different matchups, and like, yeah, which 5 do you pick? It's so
Just
difficult.
don't put
It's so
don't put
difficult.
cards in your sideboard. Do it
Yeah.
like was that Majin Bay or who was it? Someone who was
who played
on
79 and just put some random card down. Yeah, this was Majin Bay.
Yeah, but also like there was it Alexander Ward? Like one of the
Yeah, Alexander Ward did
players.
that, yeah.
Yeah, just played his stock 60 into everything, and then they were like, what are we gonna do with the sideboard? I think I was watching an interview or something, and then it was just like trade binder special, right? So they put in like random cards that they had in their trade binder just to mess with people. But what does this do in Kano?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. It was
Yeah.
something crazy. And then like weird equipment even that they never put in, but they're like, just to mess with people's heads. And then that was like, he won something or he topped something. And everyone was like, what is this Kano list? And they were just like, ha ha ha, got him. Because we don't need a sideboard. We just do the same thing. You could do the same thing there, right? Just put like all the amulets from High Seas in your sideboard as marbles. Just like, okay. Or all the fables. Just put all the fables in there.
Just to drive up the price on February.
What is this? $39,000? And it's just like all cold foil fables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the price of Flesh and Blood, what do you guys think of the current Silver Age meta? Like, we don't have any data on Silver Age meta because it's just it hasn't officially even launched. But we
have Talishar win rate.
Yeah, we have Talishar. I mean, Talishar win rate is like
is it Chain?
Taken too seriously.
Terra at like 64%.
Terra.
Maybe I should play more Silver Age. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So feeling wise, Silver Age, I like it. Like, but yeah, we know that this is not the meta that we will have when Silver Age like officially releases with like Compendium of Red. I've heard people call it Copium of Red, which I really like to adapt. But it's like this pre-meta is cool. Like I did brew a lot of different decks, and honestly, I don't see why Chain has such a low win rate on Talishar right now. I say low, but it's like 56% still. But the Chain deck that I used to play in Silver Age before I started brewing more just felt like it solved the meta. But it's it's interesting. I think it's quite open. Like so many decks have such high win rates. It's just because there are so many heroes, right? At the bottom, we have Max.
Again, I feel like Talishar is very skewed. It's always just kind of people play their random brews that they like.
Yeah, but I think it is still sort of representative, right? If you look at
I think it's representative
meta percentage, we have Briar, Ira, and
I think it's funny because I feel like Talishar is very representative of how people feel about the meta.
Yes.
Because I remember there were times where people were like, oh my god, this deck is so broken, and like it wouldn't show up in tournament data, but it would show up on Talishar because people would like just jam it on Talishar. Like I remember there was a time where Fatigue Bolton was like super good, or like there's so many people running around Talishar with Fatigue Bolton, and people were like playing like, oh my god, this deck is so good, but no one on Talishar knows how to beat Fatigue, so this deck had like a super high win rate on Talishar. But if you go to a tournament, then obviously that wasn't like a good choice to bring, and people know how to play against fatigue better. But I think it's a good gauge of people's feeling about like the current metagame. So I've heard that, lots of people don't like the fatigue aspect of Silver Age, which to me hasn't been showing up, but nobody has really brought that many fatigue strategies yet, at least to our locals. So I don't know if like it's really that strong. But I've heard multiple times that people are like, oh, we have to ban Oldhim for like the first season, or like as soon as we can vote on which decks to ban, we're gonna vote out Oldhim.
I'm in that
Do you guys
camp.
think that's like justified, or do you
No, I
also
think
agree?
like Gabe, go first, please.
Okay. The thing is, I'll probably vote for Oldhim if Penn doesn't change anything regarding his standing, because I like to play the aggro decks in Silver Age, and Oldhim completely shuts me down when I play Briar. When I play, what did I play? I don't know. When I play Briar, it completely shuts me down. When I play Chain, it shuts me down, but because I don't know how to play Chain. Yeah, so it's not even the fatigue aspect. It's the thing that I just don't get to do my things when I play against Oldhim, because
Yeah.
it's just too red liney. It's just a very strong counter pick into aggro redline decks. But I see that it's probably a fun deck to play for those that play it. Now, the resident fatigue player wants to say something.
No, I fully disagree. Like, I couldn't disagree more. No, it's not like that. But like, to me, having a defensive deck that is good in a format makes players need to play better. If I play a super aggressive mirror match where every card doesn't block or block 2 and has a 4 on the bottom left with go again, then the games is like, okay, the person who wins the die roll already has a significant advantage, and the person with the better draw sequence also has a significant advantage. It's not like defense reactions are relevant at the moment in Silver Age, right? There is a bunch of defensive cards, but yeah. So you have to do it like with tools like Oldhim has, right? And if it's just like red line aggro decks racing against each other, every player and every hero will converge to a 50% win rate, because it becomes, I'm exaggerating, of course, I'm fully aware of that, but like the presence of decks that defend and decks that disrupt make people have to adapt both micro and macro game plans, and I think that makes the game much more complex than just having aggro soups. But that is just my personal opinion, because I don't like to play super aggressive strategies, right? I like to play interactive strategies, I like to play disruptive strategies, and of course, like CYB Nu in an Aurora meta was not a good deck, because the Auroras were just like, they put a few cards in their sideboard and they would know how to beat you, and they would beat you. Perfect, right? But that required the Aurora player to make the adjustment, to think a bit more and to adapt. And that I liked, like just the presence of that, because it made the game more complex. It's not just like, oh yeah, I hit you on the head with a hammer and you hit me, and the one who falls down first loses. That's why I think Oldhim is good. And the whole like, oh, we have to ban this hero because it's miserable to play against. It goes back to this whole fatigue discussion, right? Players don't like to throw like their attacks into a brick wall. Okay, I get it. But also players are usually less interested in trying to solve those matchups.
That's true.
And instead of thinking, oh, what can I do to beat this strategy? If this is what I want to do, if I want to beat a fatigue player, what can I do? They'd rather just ban the hero than they don't have to worry about. And that mentality, I think, is a little bit, let's call it lazy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my rant over. No Kano rants. Now we have to switch to fatigue rants. I like that. That's my thing now in 2026.
I have a counter question though.
Yes.
What is your opinion on evasive damage on a 20 life format?
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
Azalea.
Like, the thing
cannot do anything.
The presence of Azalea just means that I have to put unmovables in my deck. Like, okay.
And hope to draw them in the first 2 turns as well.
Yeah, or just kill them faster, because like some decks are just faster, right? If you have an Embodiment of Earth, you can block already. If you're a Briar, you have some D reactions, you get around that. I like evasive strategies are important if you have defensive decks, right? But they banned Sync Below, they banned Fate Foreseen, but all the Dominate for 20 is fine. So you are in a way forced to play. There's not much life gain in the format either. But I've never been a big fan of Azalea like at all, because it's, to me, it's like, but Azalea is like one of those examples, right? That fall. It's not a fatigue deck, but to me, it's the other extreme. It's maximum disruptive. And if you can't deal with it, then that's bad for you. But if you don't have defensive decks, then what's stopping Azalea from being a good deck? Because you have great numbers, you have some draw variants that happen sometimes.
I mean, the thing that makes
sometimes you just
Azalea-
get like overrun.
Yeah, the thing that makes her like vulnerable, it is that like people can play armor, they can play defense reactions. Like maybe you just have to play like a bit subpar defense reaction, but the Guardians play like staunch response and stuff, and the Azalea also can't do anything against it. And she usually has worse numbers than a pure aggro deck as well.
Yeah.
Because her buffs are only for 3, whereas most Briar stuff is for 4. So just the numbers are
and you don't have red in the
Briar.
ledgers and things like this, right?
Yeah.
You can usually still convert if you survive on offense. But like, I would personally never ban for Azalea, right? For the same reason why I would never try to ban a fatigue deck, because I think having those decks in the meta forces players to think.
And I think we're going to get more defensive tools, like with Pen as well. Like from what we've seen, like there's going to be, they already spoiled that like there's going to be new armor choices for almost every hero. So we're going to have better armor for like the heroes that currently are lacking some of those options. And we're going to have a whole suite of new D-Reacts for the elemental heroes. Yeah, we'll see. I think we'll I guess it's too early to like call what the meta is going to look like, but I think it will probably be like a little bit more balanced, where like the only defensive choices are not just going to be like Guardians, essentially. Because right now it feels like the only defensive decks in the format are like Guardians and maybe Icelander.
Oh, have you seen my
Icelander is not that. Yeah, but Chain's just like very aggressive, right?
No. Yeah, if you want to gamble, yes, then Chain is a very aggressive, very gambling man.
And I think it will also, I personally think if you have a format like Sage, you want to show off the fatigue aspect of Flesh and Blood a little bit, because it is a very unique mechanic to the game that almost no other game has in like the same capacity. And we're going to expect like an influx of new players, right, with like Silver Age. So they're going to experience Flesh and Blood for the first time through the Silver Age format. And it would obviously be sad if like it ends up being just a bunch of aggro mirrors that like end by turn 3 and everybody's just kind of like, oh, this is what Flesh and Blood is. And either they like it or they don't like it, but they're going to be disappointed if they ever try out like the seed format, and then they're like, oh, this is not like Silver Age at all. I can't kill my opponent by turn 2 with my like Lexi combo or my Briar combo or something.
Whereas I would start the game like this, I think I would have not started Flesh and Blood, because when I started the game, there was Ultim, there was Kano, there was like Sabers, Boltyn combo, there was Azalea, but it was like, it was, what I liked was like the complexity, right?
Yeah.
It's not like, this is the game, you attack, you defend, you die. It's like, okay, you have this angle, you have that angle, you have that angle, you have that angle. And it's like, it's rock, paper, scissors, but like all the shenanigans are allowed. Like what we used to have in primary school. It's like, oh, rock, paper, scissors, pond and fire and unicorn or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like a little bit like this.
And I think that the challenge will be to show off that complexity with only rare and common cards. And it needs all the aspect of the game needs to be kind of represented, which is a pretty big challenge. And fatigue and defensive decks are a part of Flesh and Blood. They just shouldn't be the most dominant strategy. I do think if like the best strategy is just Ultim and like block out and like fatigue every game, then that's also bad. I do see that, because it is one of the less fun strategies. I feel like it's not very interactive if you just block and like pass and hammer for 4 every turn. And
But if that happens, then it's just like Iris. You play Iris Enigma, and you're like, okay, bring all of them. Bring them. Bring the ultims.
Is
What are you gonna
Iris
do?
legal in Sage?
Iris is legal in Sage, yeah, but Refractor not, because they learned from Project
they learn
Blue.
from their mistakes.
Man, I love that deck so much. But I agree that it's banned. It was the right decision, at least for our local meta, not for me.
2.5 weeks, and we know what's gonna be released for Silver Age.
Didn't they
some
also
major
say
fear
that
of
all
missing
the
out.
cards will be spoiled by some date?
Yeah, the end of
Yeah, it's in 2
January we'll
weeks.
have all the comments
In
and
2 weeks, okay.
comments and
yeah.
rares, and then 3.5 weeks, and then we have London.
Let's stay a little bit on Silver Age, because I think we all know what the CZ meta is. It's wild, right? It's
There is no
wild,
meta.
right? There is no meta. The meta is there is
A
no
lie.
meta.
The meta is a lie.
But I like to look ahead, like what will happen to the game this year. So if you had like one wish, what hero or card they would print in Silver Age, Gabriel, what would it be?
In Silver Age, maybe a quiver for Rangers, because I realized there's no quiver that is not a specialization that would be legal for Silver Age.
Oh, they're all Majestic or Legendary.
There's
That's
5
crazy.
quivers in the game, 3 Majestics or Legendaries, and then there's 1 for Azalea and 1 for Riptide. So a quiver would be actually pretty cool, I think.
What would your ideal Silver Age quiver look like? If your hero is Riptide, you win the game.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Like something with aim counters, maybe?
Yeah.
Enable that.
But aim counters is currently not a real strategy in Silver Age. Or maybe people play Barbed Castaway Riptide with aim counters, but then you already get your aim I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm not a Ranger player, but a quiver, yeah. Maurice, what about you? Any wishes?
I would like to see some of the strategies that we haven't explored in CC, that we could explore those in Silver Age. So what I mean,
OTK Betsy, do you mean OTK?
But yeah, maybe a deck that like plays around Wager, or like, you know, one of the like Levaya has these like hand banish cards that that were printed in Dusk Till Dawn that have never been played in any format, and it would be super cool if like there was maybe a weapon or maybe some type of equipment that like rewards you for adapting these kind of out of the like these kind of crazy strategies that maybe are negative value, and like they could make it so that those strategies shine in like this kind of new format. The same with I don't know, maybe Tekla Vossen, or even some of the newer heroes, like the revered heroes. We haven't seen any of the revered heroes in like CC really. Like Pleiades.
And the cheat seems to be the most popular, right? Or the most competitive at the moment.
Reviled, I feel like we've seen a little bit with Lyeth and KO, but I feel like Toughnut and Pleiades really haven't had their time to shine yet. So it would be cool to see like if they can do something in Silver Age. The
My
same
top
with
of
like
the wish list. Get more Toughnut specializations. No. I really want to see a playable wizard, because sorry, Icelander players, but at this stage of Silver Age, Icelander is not playable if you want to win many games. Like the problem is all the good Kano things that you can do, they are also not legal, right? Like I think Flare is banned, for example. So you can't do you have to play like a mid-range deck, but if your numbers are under average and your life total is 5 less than your opponent and your armor is garbage, then those are not winning propositions.
Yeah.
I want to see Blaze. I want to see an adult Blaze, and I want to see a young Blaze that's playable in Silver Age. That's like my biggest I don't even know if I would play it, but I like the presence of an arcane deck in the meta, because once again, if you have to tech for other classes, you should also have to tech for wizards. Like, it's not, oh, you have just better armor than everyone else, and that's why you win more games. But then if you're forced to play Rune, then maybe you even out a little bit more. Also, you take sideboard slots away against other things, which makes usually the meta then a bit wider again. So yeah, I like Blaze. I also did some brewing with Blaze already. I have a bunch of Silver Age decks on Talishar, and they're all Kano, and they're all, the name is all, this is a Kano, this is a Blaze deck, this is a Blaze deck too. Yeah.
What do you
that's
think is like?
that's my wish.
What do you predict for 2026? Will we see Adult Blaze, or is it gonna be like just your wish list?
So I think we will see Adult Blaze, because we've seen that in the past happen, like with Icelander, right? There was a young Icelander that was in a random set that never really got played, and then like later it became an adult hero. And now we see Blaze as this promo. Then I think there were other options to get a Blaze. Then with the Cold Fall set you could win, and now I think they'll make it more accessible and it will become an adult hero. The timing would also be perfect with Kano leaving the meta. Like, I think it's gonna happen. That's just my feeling. But my wish would be that Icelander comes back in whatever form. That would be that would be not, but like not the exact same hero, right? Because I
of course.
don't do that. But like, if I could wish for a wizard, it would be an Ice Wizard. But my feeling says that Blaze could be there and could be a fun wizard, because to me, like, Blaze in Blitz, it's a 20 life format. That's a big difference, right? But it feels like a little bit, you do a little bit of blocking, you chip a little bit Arcane, then you chip a little bit Arcane, and your opponent's turn, like, you just try to maximize hands. And I like that. Then you don't have to stat combo kill, because then people will complain again. But have something that's a little bit more interactive towards the opponent.
Are there other heroes you think we will see this year in like new forms? We know Aurora is going to come, so we knew that there's going to be a new elemental like product. We don't know if it's just going to be an armory deck or if she's part of a major set. Probably just an armory deck though, because I feel like they didn't think she would LL so quickly, so I doubt they were going to print like another elemental set so soon after Rosetta. But yeah, what are your like kind of predictions? Where are we gonna go 2026? What regions are we gonna visit again? What heroes are we gonna see again? Is anything else coming back that is already living legend?
So set 20 will come, right?
That was the big announcement.
Set 20 will be 2026 or 2027?
Yeah, the last one for 26, I think. So I think
okay,
Pen is 18.
So there we'll have something big. There we will have something super big. It's probably gonna be a Prism set.
I think it's gonna be the third like Monarch set. Like it's gonna be the third in the
that's
trilogy.
My feeling.
And with the new art on the reprint of Command and Conquer, I think they already kind of hinted. And James White like loves to hint at these sort of things, and I think that's
Shadow
for us. Well, Shadow versus Light, yeah.
Exactly, but the CNC is this demon kind of thing.
You see, no, it's Solana in the background.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Shadow armies like attacking Solana. So.
Okay. So Prism confirmed. I like it. Maybe a playable Volten movies finally.
I think we're gonna see Shiana, because in the lore she's like also involved in like Solana.
Adult one.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see adult Shiana, and I think she's gonna be light something.
I'm gonna go. I have to start brewing.
Yeah.
Adult Shiana, just imagine like what abomination this
you
deck
sit in
would
front
be
of
if
a
it would
guy
be
and he flips.
The same hero text.
I think she has a different hero text. I don't think she has the same hero text. I think she'll have different hero text, but I think we'll see her.
Maybe some illusionist Shiana or something.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I do think we'll see another light warrior, because we know Hala is coming, right? We know she's like a warrior. Warriors are going to get more support. I think there's probably we're going to see like Armory Pack Warrior or something. And my prediction is we're going to see another light warrior this year.
Yeah, there are not enough warriors in this game.
Yeah, there are not enough good warriors in this game.
Well, we only have 2 rune plates currently, so
How many wizards
Yeah,
are
because
there again?
the others are all LL'd.
yeah, we have Vincent and we have Florian currently.
How many wizards do we have?
Legal. Oscilio and Verdance, right?
And neither of them plays like a wizard.
Which other
Okay,
class don't
what's
we
the
have
definition
represent?
of playing like a wizard? That's just like, that was rude.
Yeah, I wonder also if we're going to see another demi-hero, because that is something that has been explored in the Shadow versus Light sets, and we've only seen Levia demi-hero for now. Maybe Vincent demi-hero?
Ooh,
Transform
so make
into
a
the
hero.
demon?
But she has her ally, right? She has this demon.
Yeah.
Well, Levia can turn into Plasmafeth, yeah. But that's
Yeah,
like one of
but
the...
Vincent has the spec that makes the
Yeah.
Shadow Verser.
Yes, yeah. She can summon up the demon token.
What's his
That's
name?
true.
Something with N. Nezrith or something.
Yes. So we know Light is gonna come, or we don't know, but like we're gonna predict that we're gonna see Shadow versus Light in set 20.
Maybe
What do you
our,
guys think for set 19? Where
maybe
are we
our,
gonna go for set 19?
maybe the pirates finally land in Tropaldani. Because high seas they were on the sea, right? And now
Yeah.
maybe they managed to reach Tropaldani.
You think another pirate set so soon after High Seas?
Maybe Tropaldani is not pirates. Maybe Tropaldani is like savages, like Reinar's distant cousin or something.
Like the pits, but with gold.
Yeah,
Well,
I think we're
pits
gonna
would
go
be
back to the
cool.
pits. I think we're gonna see like another Outsiders type set. I feel like we've seen enough Assassin, but maybe they're gonna focus more on like the Rangers and something new from maybe another Necromancer from the pits.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
That
I think
sounds
that
good.
fits.
Sounds good to me. What about the Trollmar reprint? Do we think there will be Trollmar coming back
I
next year,
think
right?
It's
Yeah, I think
27.
it's 27. Yeah, I think we know that like he said 2027, and maybe that will also be the time for the return to Volcor with Dromai being the Empress now, Empress Dromai.
What about like if set 20 is like Everfest 2 or something like this?
It's another
I
party.
feel like Compendium of Wraith is kind of that, right? Like
It's
Compendium
just
of
like a
Wraith feels
party.
like Everset 2 with like all these.
But it's like celebrating the 20 years, 20 sets of Flesh and Blood, and it's just like Starvo having a good time, you know?
No, Starvo coming back to CC.
Just for 1
Boy.
week, he's legal or something like
Yeah.
this.
Like this season,
Similar
everything's
to-
legal.
Just like the first week of PQ season, no ban list. Yeah, then you could just split single splits. Yeah. Okay, so no Dromai, Solana likely. Okay, I can see that. But make some Spectra auras. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a mechanic that will never come back.
There's also a slight chance that we're going to see Mystic again.
Oh, that would be so good.
No.
Please no.
I think you're the only one here that enjoyed the Mystic
man.
heroes.
Ban every blue that was printed in Part the Mistveil. Then
Just like
we
a
might
mystic
go back.
hero, a mystic hero that says your deck can only contain red
Red.
and yellow cards. Only red. But all your reds pitch for 3. That's basically what MST was, though. The blues were red in disguise. Yeah. No, but any more wishes? I like the changes to Blitz. I think I'm gonna try that format at one point. I like that Silver Age is upon us. Compendium, next time probably we record, we have a little bit more information there. I think CC is as white as ever. I intentionally did not say as healthy as ever because some people struggle with the wide meta game. Some people enjoy it, and I think it's good that we have a very wide meta for once, and even wider now after the bans. Yeah, I'm very optimistic into 2026. Looking forward to jam some games, play the game, see the world, see Wraith.
Yeah, me too. What about you, Gabriel? Anything last to add?
I'm excited. I'm excited for everything this year.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll see the like new player experience really explode this year. I think with Silver Age, the interest has been there, and like I'm having to tell people like wait until February, wait until the new Silver Age decks come out. That's when like we're gonna see all this like stuff come to fruition. And I think that the promise of, oh, you can take this $20 deck and play in an Armory super competitive, or you can play the same deck that Pablo Pintor plays for the Pro Tour is very exciting.
Yeah, my partner even asked me to teach the game. So let's see if she'll come over and destroy us at some of the Silver Age armories.
She will absolutely
Anytime
wreck us
soon.
if she shows up.
Yeah.
I already know.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, then that's it for this year's episode.
See you guys in 2027.
Of course, thank you to our listeners. See you next
All right.
time.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's show. You can find us on Twitter under the handle @LDFPod. That's LDFPOD. On Blue Sky under the handle @PugWizardPatrick or @SignalJammer. Or you can send us an email under questions@ldfpod.com. We're looking forward to hearing from all of you and hope you tune in again when it's time for the next LDF podcast.